All right, welcome back to art. Today we are going to create our name tags that we'll be using on our tables and also displaying on bulletin boards. This year the design is in the shape of a crayon, and the color that you'll get is depending on the color table that you sit at. So on each table there is the shape paper that you'll need cut out in a basket. There is a tracer that you will use to create your crayon shape. And there are the other tools that you'll need, which is a pencil to start with, a Sharpie, and you can also use colored markers to add your design. So I'm going to work on a yellow one again. And first of all, before we even start that, we're going to look at the elements of art. And this sheet is in your folders. So you've already glued this sheet into your folders, and it talks about all the different elements of art. For this simple project, our name tag, we are going to be using the element of line. You're going to be creating some interesting line designs around your and in your crayon. You might add some interesting shapes. We are also maybe be adding some color if you're going to be adding colored markers. And you'll be looking at and working with the element of space. So in that sense, I want you to look about how you're spacing your designs on your crayon and what type of spatial relationship you're using in your project. So kind of think about your composition and how the end product is going to look. So to get started, you need your tracer, and I always like to start with a pencil. And the colored paper that's on your table. So if you're at the yellow table, you'll have yellow. If you're at the blue table, you'll have blue, red, etc. Okay, so you're going to get the colored paper that you need, place the tracer on top of the paper, and holding it down, and so I know it's hard for some students to trace, you're going to trace around the shape. So just hang on to it, trace around it, so that you have the whole shape on your paper. And when you're done, remove the tracer, so you should have just a pencil line. Now from here you can go on to designing what types of lines and how you would like your crayon to look. So and you can use a ruler. Rulers are on the center supply shelf. I'm just going to freehand it. So I'm going to first put the semicircle, and you can kind of see it on your tracer. There's a little dotted semicircle here. There's also some lines here that shows you kind of how the crayon design is. I don't know if you can see them, but with it in your hand, you'll be able to see it. So I'm going to draw those lines, a straight line down and a straight line down. And then in between these lines, I'm going to draw that semicircle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just going to go with it. Now the whole goal of this art project in line designs is to have your name really big and bold. So you want to make sure that you do that. You can place your name anywhere that you like on your crayon. I'm going to go around this central part. Actually for this one, maybe I'll go at the top. So I'm going to carefully write my name, and again I'm going to go over this with a marker. So if you're going to use black Sharpie, you can press down really hard, but if you're not going to use Sharpie, if you're going to use a different Crayola crayon, you might want to think about how dark you're going with your pencil. Now you can see when I wrote it out, my name went past this line. And so I think I'm going to erase it and maybe make my name a little bit different. So that's why I start with pencil. I'm going to erase my name and try and get it in the space that I want it. So I'm going to move closer, and maybe I'll go with lower cases, and I think it'll fit now. Yep, Miss Breshek. Okay, so, and now I can think about all the different types of lines I want to add. So again, this is very individual. You can reference back to your sheet on lines, and you can kind of see you can have curved lines and wavy lines, straight lines, diagonal lines, zigzag lines, dotted lines. So create the pattern that you want. So think about your pattern. Pattern is a principle of design. So I'm going to just kind of go quickly and create my design. You want to think about it. We're not scribbling the patterns. We're being thoughtful in what you're doing. Okay, so far I've got some lines going, and then I'll add some more detail. When I am done, I'm going to use my Sharpie or another marker and go over all of my pencil marks. So again, I'm going to go over my name, and I want my name to pop out, so I don't want my name lost in my design. So you want to make sure that I can read your name and you can read your name, and that doesn't get lost with all your design. So in order to use a Sharpie correct, these are new Sharpies, so they're nice and pointed. You want to go very lightly. You're not pressing down hard at all with your marker. The lighter you go, the longer your marker will last. So try and think about how you're utilizing your tools. Once you have outlined all of your design, you're then going to cut it out. So there are scissors on your desk, and you just want to cut out your design. So however you want to do that, you're just going to cut around your design. You can either choose to see that outline or not. So you're going to cut all around your paper until your crayon is completely cut out. And we'll keep this in our folder, and every day that you come into art, we're going to display it on the table. And that way I will have an opportunity to truly get to know everybody's name. So that's my goal this year, is to know everybody's first name and be able to get to know you if I see you in the commissary. So with this project, not only are we working with the elements of art, line design, shape, spatial value, looking at our composition and our patterns maybe, but we also are being able to, your I can statements are, I can organize and develop artistic ideas and work. You're going to create something and develop probably a new artistic design. For fifth graders, you're going to be able to demonstrate quality craftsmanship through care and use of materials, tools, and equipment. You want to make sure that you're using all your tools thoughtfully and gently. Fourth graders, we will be making works of art utilizing, again, care of materials, tools, equipment in a manner that prevents danger to ourselves and to others. So, especially when you're using the scissors, you don't want to be, you want to be very careful on how you're using your scissors. And for our third graders, we are going to elaborate on a visual information by adding details to an artwork to enhance the emerging meaning. So by that, it means you're going to want to add some details, some more line designs to add some real interest and meaning to your piece. So even though this is a name tag, make it meaningful. Give it some emphasis by how much design and thoughtful design and line work you add. So enjoy this project. It's a simple one, starting off with the elements of art, including line, shape, and space.